Welcome back to the Global Fantasy Sports Forum. We're a couple of weeks away from the AFL and the NRL season, as well as the F1 season for the matter, from starting. And we've been tackling a lot of NRL and AFL topics so far, and we've got another AFL topic. This time we're going to be looking at the best ruck pairings you can have. As of now, we're looking like Max Gawn and Brodie Grundy is probably the consensus, almost the unanimous best pairing, but is there any other better pairings that we could try and figure out? And is there any other better pairings that could potentially topple Gawn and Grundy? Now, before we get into all the discussion, if you haven't done so yet, hit the thumbs up, like the video, as it does wonders for the video to get seen. And also subscribe if you haven't done so. If you're a fan of EPL, NBA, AFL, NRL, or Formula 1, we're going to be covering all those types of fantasy games throughout the whole year. So stay tuned for that. And let's get into it. So AFL Fantasy, let's start from there. Now, currently with my squad, I've got Max Gawn and Brodie Grundy. And it just makes sense, right? And at the moment, you see they are the two most selected rucks in fantasy at the moment. Brodie Grundy with over 51%. Selecting him, and Max Gawn has got 31%. And Brodie Grundy and Max Gawn, they both were a part of the Melbourne Demons squad. Grundy has moved over to Sydney for this season, and they sort of really cancelled each other out. It seemed like on paper it would have been amazing to have that 1-2 pairing, but I don't think it really worked out as well as they hoped for. Grundy had some injuries. And you saw towards the back end of the 2023 season, Max Gawn, when he was the lone rucksman, he posted up some big scores. They really cancelled each other out. Grundy, before he joined Melbourne, he was also a star ruckman for fantasy purposes as well. Now they've got another chance again to shine outside of each other. I think Brodie Grundy, he's currently priced at 677,000. That is going to potentially look like a bargain, which is why he is the most popular rucksman at the moment. So last year he played 17 games. He only averaged 75. But you look at 2022. Yes, that's right. He did have a lot of injuries, but he showed what he's capable of, averaging 93. 2021 was 106.5 points a game across 20 games. And then if you even go back further than that, 122 in 2019, 120 in 2018. He's just an absolute star. So, if he can easily average over 100 points a game at 677,000, that is an absolute bargain, absolute steal. Now, looking at Max Gawn, like I mentioned, Max Gawn, he averaged 92 points. He really got his season towards the back end going really well without Brodie Grundy. But we saw, if you look at him, he was averaging 103 points in 2022, 2021 108.6, 2020 just under 100 points. So if you keep going back, he's been a main staple for the Melbourne Demons for a very long time. It didn't work out in terms of fantasy purposes. Gawn and Grundy just weren't a good pairing together. Now, if we look at potentially any other options, if we go back to our screen, these are the remaining options, right? You look at Tim English, only just under 14% have selected him. He is the most expensive rucksman alongside Rowan Marshall, so it doesn't make sense, unless you really cut down elsewhere, in your squad. You can definitely see why they haven't been selected as much. Rowan Marshall, he broke out last year. If we have a look at Rowan Marshall, he averaged 116 points, but in 2022, he only averaged 91, and he was. That last year was his breakout moment. So Grundy could very well be the Rowan Marshall for 2024. And look, I'm probably answering my own question here, but as of right now, there really doesn't seem to be anybody else that's going to be good value. In terms of dollars per point, Gawn and Grundy is going to be the best pairing you can possibly get. Moving over to the Supercoach side. The Supercoach side is a lot more emphatic. Grundy and Max Gawn. 65% of owners own Brodie Grundy and over 50% own Max Gawn. So right now it seems like they are the unanimous pairing, the best pairing that a potential Supercoach team could have. Luke Jackson's up there. English has got 10% and Rowan Marshall's 7%. Brodie Grundy, if we compare what he scored, average 86 in 2023, over 100 in 2022, 115 in 2020, 2021. But we all know he's capable of massive scores, 130, monster, 120. It's all massive scores. So for 481,000, if he can sniff 110 to 120, and I'm probably going towards the lower end, he's going to be an absolutely amazing asset, and you can see why so many players have decided to have him in his squad. Looking into Gawn, he still averaged over 100 points last season, but 113 in 2022, 120 in 2021, 140 in 2020. So, now that they're apart, it just makes sense that they're going to flourish and they're going to absolutely kill it, in Supercoach as well. So, guys, let me know what you guys think. Is Max Gawn and Brodie Grundy the absolute unanimous best Rucks combo you could ever have in fantasy and Supercoach for 2024? Let me know if you guys have a different combination. Let me know who you guys have paired up and why. Are there any sort of players or any other rucksmen to watch out for? Somebody we should keep a close eye on. For me, Grundy and Gawn, they're the number one pairing. But if there is any better pairings out there, or if there's any other rucksmen that we should keep an eye out for, let us know in the comments section below. And discuss away.